The thunderous crack of a fist connecting with a jaw echoed through the dimly lit gym. 19-year-old Andre stumbled backward, blood trickling from his lip, eyes wide with shock as his opponent advanced. In the corner, Marcus Teller watched, his heart pounding against his ribs, memories flooding back of another fight, another time, when everything changed. "Coach," Andre called out, desperation in his voice. "Oh, bro, what do I do?" Marcus froze, his hands gripping the rope so tightly his knuckles turned white. The crowd's roars seemed distant now. Underwater, he should shout instructions, strategies, encouragement, anything. But the words caught in his throat, trapped by an invisible hand. "Coach Marcus," another voice, more urgent. The young boxer took another hit, harder this time. Marcus felt it in his own body, a phantom pain from 15 years ago when he had been the one in the ring. The night he had hit too hard, the night that had cost someone their life. If this story has already made you feel something, however small, don't leave without giving back. Comment and tell me where you're watching this video from, and subscribe to the channel. Andre went down hard, the referee's count beginning. 10, 9, 8. Marcus finally found his voice, but it was too late. The match was over, another loss for Redemption Boxing Gym, the 5th this month. Later, in the cramped office behind the training floor, Marcus stared at the overdue mortgage statements. $45,000 owed to Continental Trust Bank, a debt that had ballooned with interest rates he hadn't understood when signing the refinancing agreement. 3 notices of imminent foreclosure lay beneath them, each more threatening than the last. His cell phone buzzed, a text from his ex-wife. "Tyler came home with another black eye. This bullying has to stop. He needs his father to teach him to stand up for himself." Marcus closed his eyes, leaning back in the worn leather chair. Tyler, 15 and gentle-spirited like his mother, had become a target at school. The same school where Marcus had once been the golden boy, the undefeated champion, with a full scholarship waiting. Before the accident, before he'd vowed never to raise his fists in anger again. A knock at the door interrupted his thoughts. Darius Wright stood there, expensive suit perfectly tailored to his still athletic frame, Rolex glinting under the fluorescent lights. Former rival, now successful investment broker and, inconveniently, the man who had purchased Marcus's debt from the bank. "Heard about Andre's fight," Darius said, not bothering with pleasantries. "4th loss this quarter. Shame." His eyes scanned the faded championship photos on the wall. "Your father built something special here. Hate to see it go under because his son lost his nerve." Marcus remained seated, his face carefully neutral. "What do you want, Darius?" "Same thing I've wanted for 6 months. Sell me the gym. I'll give you a fair price, $250,000, enough to clear your debt and start fresh somewhere else." He smiled thinly. "My health insurance company's looking to invest in wellness centers. This location's perfect for a premium medical screening facility." "This gym serves 27 kids from this neighborhood," Marcus replied quietly. "Many of them can't afford the membership fees. I already don't charge them." Darius shrugged. "Not my problem. Business is business. The private healthcare sector's booming. Investments in preventative medicine facilities saw 21% growth last year." He placed a business card on the desk. "I can arrange artificial intelligence-driven health screenings that would cost these families thousands at a hospital." "They'd thank you." After Darius left, Marcus's phone rang. His son's name flashed on the screen. "Dad?" Tyler's voice sounded small, congested from crying. "Can I come stay with you tonight? Mom's working late at the hospital, and I don't want to be alone." 30 minutes later, father and son sat on the worn couch in Marcus's apartment above the gym, Tyler holding an ice pack to his swollen eye. Marcus noticed how his son's shoulders curved inward, how he made himself smaller, a defensive posture Marcus recognized all too well. "Want to tell me what happened?" Marcus asked gently. Tyler shrugged. "Same as always. Jason Diaz and his friends. They found out I applied for that coding scholarship and said guys like me don't belong in tech startups." His voice cracked. "Called me soft. Said I'm just like my dad, a quitter who's afraid to fight." Marcus flinched. The words cut deeper than any physical blow could have. "You're not soft, Tyler," he said finally. "Standing up for yourself doesn't always mean fighting." "Then what does it mean?" Tyler's eyes, so like his mother's, searched Marcus's face. "Because whatever I'm doing isn't working. They're going to post my startup project online tomorrow and trash it. I worked 6 months on that app design." Marcus had no answer. He had spent 15 years avoiding confrontation, teaching his boxers technique, but freezing when real conflict erupted. How could he guide his son through something he himself couldn't face? That night, after Tyler had fallen asleep, Marcus slipped down to the gym. The heavy bag swayed slightly in the darkness, illuminated only by the streetlights filtering through the high windows. Marcus approached it slowly, wrapping his hands with the methodical precision he still taught his students. He threw a single, hesitant jab. Then another. Images flashed through his mind. Andre going down in the ring. Tyler's swollen face. Darius's smirk, the foreclosure notices, the teenager who had died from injuries sustained in Marcus's last professional fight, a fight Marcus had won with a knockout that crossed the line from victory to tragedy. His fists landed harder, faster, tears streaming down his face now. Marcus had become a master of avoidance, of backing down, of absorbing blows, both literal and metaphorical. His father, the legendary coach Will Teller, would be ashamed. As dawn broke, Marcus made a decision. He couldn't teach Tyler to fight if he couldn't face his own fears, but perhaps there was another way, someone else who could help them both. The Philadelphia Veterans Hospital smelled of antiseptic and faded dreams. Marcus walked the polished corridor, nodding to nurses who recognized him from his weekly visits. Room 317 hadn't changed. Same beeping monitors, same faded boxing posters taped carefully to sterile walls, same old man sitting by the window, gnarled hands resting on a weathered photo album. "Solomon," Marcus said softly. Solomon Wilson turned slowly, 87 years of life etched into the lines of his face. His eyes, though clouded with cataracts, still held the intensity that had made him a formidable welterweight champion in the 1960s. "I know those footsteps," Solomon smiled, revealing a gap where a right hook had claimed 2 teeth decades ago. "Sit down, boy. Tell me why you look like you're carrying the weight of the entire city on those shoulders." Marcus sat, the plastic chair creaking beneath him. For 5 years, he had visited his father's former trainer, bringing news of the gym, the neighborhood, the world Solomon could no longer see clearly. Today was different. "I'm losing everything, Sol," Marcus admitted, the words physically painful. "The gym's 3 months from foreclosure. My fighters keep losing because I can't," he swallowed hard, "because I freeze up when it matters, and Tyler, my son's getting bullied, and I don't know how to help him stand up for himself when I can't even do it myself." Solomon nodded slowly, fingers tracing the embossed lettering on the album cover, "Champions never quit." "Your father trusted me with 2 things before he passed," Solomon said. "This gym and you. Seems I'm failing at both. It's not your fault. After what happened with Eddie Torres, every time I see conflict, I'm back in that moment, watching him fall, not getting up." Solomon's expression softened. 15 years is a long time to punish yourself, Marcus. The investigation cleared you. It was a tragic accident in a dangerous sport. Doesn't bring him back, doesn't help his family. And does your suffering help them? Solomon countered. Now does your gym closing help the 27 kids who find sanctuary there instead of the streets? Marcus remained silent, knowing the answer. Solomon opened the album, fingers knowing each page by memory. He stopped and tapped a yellowed newspaper clipping. "Read this to me." Marcus leaned forward. October 1st, 1974, before his legendary rumble in the jungle against George Foreman, Muhammad Ali shares his philosophy: "I never hit first, but I always hit last." People misunderstand that quote, Solomon said, leaning back. They think it's about retaliation. It's not. It's about strategy, about choosing your moment, about winning the fight that matters, not every skirmish along the way. He turned to face Marcus more fully. Your problem isn't that you won't fight. It's that you don't know which fights are worth fighting and how to win them without losing yourself. I don't follow, Marcus admitted. Solomon's weathered hand found Marcus's wrist with surprising strength. Tomorrow, bring Tyler here, and that laptop thing he carries everywhere. It's time you both learned what Muhammad really meant. The next afternoon, Tyler sat awkwardly beside his father in Solomon's room, his coding laptop open but untouched. His latest black eye had faded to a sickly yellow, but a new bruise darkened his jawline. "So you're building some kind of computer program?" Solomon asked, after introductions. "An app," Tyler corrected gently. "It helps small businesses protect their data from security breaches without expensive software. Most cybersecurity solutions are designed for corporations with huge budgets." Solomon nodded appreciatively. "Fighting the good fight in your own way." "Show me." For the next hour, Tyler demonstrated his project, gradually growing animated, as he explained how his artificial intelligence algorithm could detect potential threats to a small business's digital infrastructure. Solomon listened intently, asking surprisingly insightful questions for someone who had never used a smartphone. "This Jason boy," Solomon said when Tyler finished, "the one who troubles you. What does he want?" Tyler looked confused. "To make my life miserable." "No, deeper than that. What drives him?" Tyler thought for a moment. "Recognition, I guess. His dad owns Diaz Construction, 300 employees, contracts all over the city. Jason's always talking about taking over the company someday, being the boss." Solomon smiled. "Now we're getting somewhere. Marcus, remember what I told you yesterday about choosing the right fight?" Marcus nodded slowly. "Tyler," Solomon continued, "does your app have anything that might interest a construction company?" A spark lit in Tyler's eyes. "Actually, yes. Construction firms handle sensitive bid information, client data, employee records, all prime targets for hackers. My system could—" He trailed off, understanding dawning. "You think I should offer to help him?" "I think," Solomon said carefully, "that Muhammad Ali didn't win by trading punch for punch. He won by making opponents play his game. Rope-a-dope, he called it. Let them wear themselves out hitting you while you conserve energy. Then, when the moment's right, you make your move." "But how does that help with the gym?" Marcus interjected. "Darius isn't some schoolyard bully. He's a businessman with resources. The bank's ready to foreclose in 90 days. Solomon turned toward Marcus. "Tell me about this Darius." "What drives him?" Marcus considered the question. "Recognition, status. He was always second best when we were coming up. My father chose to train me instead of him. He never forgot that. And now, he runs a successful investment firm, specializes in health insurance portfolios and medical real estate, wants to turn the gym into some kind of premium healthcare screening facility." Solomon tapped his fingers against the arm of his wheelchair. "Interesting. And what about your fighters? Why do they keep losing?" Marcus flinched. Because I can't. When they're in trouble, I freeze up. I can't guide them through the hard moments. No, Solomon said firmly. They lose because they fight scared. Because their coach fights scared. Fear makes you defensive. When you're only defending, you've already lost. He leaned forward. Mom, but here's what Muhammad knew. You don't have to throw the first punch to control the fight. As they left the hospital, Tyler seemed thoughtful. That old man's pretty smart. Smartest boxer I ever met, Marcus agreed. Taught my father everything he knew. I think I know what to do about Jason now, Tyler said. But Dad, what about the gym? 90 days isn't much time. Marcus stared at the horizon. The Philadelphia skyline bathed in afternoon light. I'm not sure yet, but I'm done being afraid. Whatever happens, we face it standing up. That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. Solomon's words echoed in his mind. Choose the right fight. What was the right fight here? He couldn't outbid Darius, couldn't magically become a fearless cornerman overnight, couldn't erase the past. His phone buzzed at 2:17 in the morning, a text from Tyler. I think I found something in the gym's mortgage documents. Can I show you tomorrow before school? At 6:30 the next morning, Tyler spread printouts across the kitchen table in Marcus's apartment. I was thinking about what Mr. Wilson said about finding the right fight, so I looked up predatory lending practices for my business ethics project. He pointed to highlighted sections of the mortgage refinancing agreement Marcus had signed 3 years earlier. See these clauses. The variable interest rate has no cap, and there's language buried in the appendix about balloon payments that weren't disclosed in the main document. And here, this acceleration clause lets them demand full payment with only 30 days. Notice if they claim the property value has decreased. Marcus stared at his son. How do you know all this? Tyler shrugged. My coding project is about data security, but it's still business. I've been studying contract law in my spare time. He tapped another document. Dad, I think this qualifies as predatory lending under Pennsylvania's consumer protection laws. The loan was designed to fail. For the first time in years, Marcus felt something unfamiliar. Hope. We should talk to a lawyer. Tyler nodded. Already found one. Financial advocacy clinic at the law school. Free consultations on Thursdays. Marcus hugged his son, tight and sudden. When did you get so smart? Must be from Mum's side. Tyler grinned. Then more seriously, Dad, I'm going to try that thing with Jason today, the rope-a-dope. Marcus nodded, nervous but proud. Remember what Solomon said, make them play your game. If this story has already made you feel something, however small, don't leave without giving back. Comment and tell me where you're watching this video from and subscribe to the channel. The law school clinic buzzed with activity, students in business casual attire consulting with harried-looking Philadelphians, the air heavy with anxiety and legal jargon. Marcus and Tyler sat across from Elena Ramirez, a third-year law student specializing in financial justice cases. This is textbook predatory lending, Eleanor said, scanning the documents Tyler had organized into a meticulous folder. The hidden balloon payment, the uncapped variable interest, the misleading disclosures, Continental Trust has been targeting small businesses in historically black neighborhoods for years. Can we fight it? Marcus asked. Elena tapped her pen against the table. Individually, it's difficult. The bank has more resources, more time. But collectively, she pulled out her tablet, showing a spreadsheet. We've documented 17 similar cases in your zip code alone. The Attorney General's office has been building a case against Continental for discriminatory lending practices. How long would that take? Marcus asked. I have 90 days before foreclosure. A class action could take years, Elena admitted. But, she hesitated, there's another option. Publicity. The bank hates bad press. If we could document your case, show how a community fixture is being destroyed by predatory practices, it might pressure them to renegotiate. Tyler leaned forward. I could build a website, share the stories of the kids who train at the gym, calculate the community impact. Elena nodded appreciatively. That's a start, but we'd need media coverage, something that makes people care. Marcus thought of Solomon's words, make them play your game. What if we hosted an exhibition match? Invite former champions who trained at Redemption, make it a community event. Save the gym fundraiser. With healthcare screenings, Tyler added suddenly. Both Marcus and Elena looked at him questioningly. You said Darius wants to turn the gym into a medical screening facility. What if we showed there's a way to do both? Partner with a local clinic, offer free health checkups alongside the boxing exhibition. Elena wrote rapidly in her notebook. This is good, really good. The bank doesn't want to be seen shutting down a community health initiative. I can draft a temporary injunction request based on the predatory lending evidence and the community benefit argument. As they left the clinic, Marcus felt lighter than he had in years. They had a plan, not just to survive, but to fight back intelligently. How did it go with Jason today? He asked Tyler as they walked toward the subway. Tyler grinned. Rope-a-dope. I showed him how vulnerable his dad's construction company's bidding system is to hackers, offered to help secure it as part of my coding project. He didn't know what to do, punch me or thank me. And he's coming over tomorrow after school to let me analyze their network security. Tyler laughed at Marcus's surprised expression. Turns out his dad's been on him about learning the business side of things. My app could save them thousands in potential data breach costs. You turned your bully into a business partner, Marcus said, impressed. I made him play my game, Tyler corrected, just like Mr. Wilson said. The next 2 weeks passed in a blur of activity. Marcus divided his time between training his fighters, organizing the exhibition fundraiser, and meeting with Elena to build their case against Continental Trust. Tyler split his hours between school, developing his app with Jason's reluctant collaboration, and building the Save Redemption Gym website. Word spread quickly through Philadelphia's boxing community. Former champions and contenders who had trained at Redemption under Marcus's father began calling, offering to participate. Local businesses donated services and products for a silent auction. Even the mayor's office expressed interest in attending after Elena strategically mentioned the community health initiative component. 17 days after their visit to the legal clinic, Marcus returned to Solomon's room at the VA hospital, this time with good news. The exhibition's set for next month, he told Solomon. We've got 5 former champions participating, plus an Olympic silver medalist. Community Health Partners is bringing mobile screening units, blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, the works. Elena says we've already got enough evidence of predatory practices to file for an emergency injunction against foreclosure. Solomon listened, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. And your fighters? How are they doing? Marcus hesitated. Better. Andre has a match this weekend. I'm working on staying present when things get tough. Not good enough, Solomon said bluntly. This plan of yours, it's smart, strategic, but it doesn't address the core problem, which is you, Solomon said simply. Until you face what happened with Eddie Torres, really face it, you'll never be the coach your fighters need. The father your son deserves. Marcus felt his chest tighten. I don't know how. Solomon pointed to the closet. Top shelf, box with my name on it. Marcus retrieved a dusty cardboard box. Inside lay an old VHS tape labeled Teller vs. Torres, June 12, 2008. I've never watched it, Marcus admitted, his voice barely audible. "I know," Solomon replied. "It's time." That evening, Marcus sat alone in his office, having found an old VCR in the gym's storage room. His hands trembled as he inserted the tape. For 15 years, he had avoided all footage of his last fight, relying only on his fractured, guilt-ridden memories. The screen flickered to life. A younger Marcus, 24 and confident, bounced on the balls of his feet. Across the ring, Eddie Torres, a Puerto Rican fighter with a reputation for dirty tactics. The bell rang. Marcus forced himself to watch every minute. The first 11 rounds were a masterclass in boxing, both men skilled, determined, but fighting clean. In the 12th, Torres, desperate and behind on points, landed a rabbit punch to the back of Marcus's head during a clinch. Marcus staggered, momentarily dazed. What happened next made Marcus lean forward, confused. Torres followed with an elbow to the kidney, another illegal move that the referee missed. Marcus, acting on instinct and training, created distance and threw the counter combination his father had drilled into him thousands of times. Jab, cross, left hook. The left hook caught Torres turning in, amplifying the impact. A textbook punch, perfectly executed. Torres went down hard, his head bouncing off the canvas. The referee counted him out.